51 years. That is the minimum amount of time a child must serve if convicted as an adult of a felony and premeditated murder in the state. That law has been in place since 1995. One teenager impacted by that law is Almir Nance. He was 16 years old when he was involved in a deadly robbery in Knoxville. But he wasn't the one holding the gun, and tonight 10 News reporter Mary Klingler spoke to a group of advocates who are sharing his story as an example of why the state's criminal justice system needs to change.
This system is cruel and unusual.
Under state law, any individual found guilty of first-degree murder must serve a mandatory 51 years in prison before a chance at release. That includes minors.
Which is a fancy way of saying has no chance to ever be released in their actual lifetime.
Tennessee has the longest mandatory prison time for juveniles convicted of murder of any other state in the nation. Other states no longer require juveniles to serve mandatory life sentences.
That's what's done everywhere else in the country, and we think it should be done here in Tennessee as well.
Wednesday night, advocates highlighted the case of 16-year-old Almir Nance. In 1996, he was named an accomplice to a deadly robbery in Knoxville. A Radio Shack manager was shot, execution style. Nance did not pull the trigger, but was convicted of a felony murder and received a 51-year sentence.
Have asked the Tennessee Supreme Court to declare this unconstitutional.
Nance is now 43 years old, and his mom still fighting for his release. Advocates like Community Defense of East Tennessee are fighting too.
We walk with families going through what we call the injustice system.
Spreading awareness about Nance and other minors sentenced to 51 years.
I see a lot of times people comment, well, you know, they shouldn't have done this or shouldn't have done that, but there's no consideration about what that child actually experienced or went through. You know, just because you grew up a certain way doesn't mean that everyone grows up that way.
Reporting in Knoxville, I'm Mary Klingler.